Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Startup Journey. Today, I have with me Jennifer Stephens, who is um, er- uh, doing Junction Point, a company which basically does screen and vinyl sublimation printing. And they do design event invitations and flyers. And they specialize in sublimation shirts and custom printing, I suppose. Hi, Jennifer. Can you introduce yourself again?
Yes, I'm Jennifer. Like you said, I'm with Junction Point, and we do mainly sublimation printing on T-shirts, mainly.
So, when did you got started? Tell us the story of how it all started and where are you at today?
I'm in Alabama, in the United States, and we started up in April of last year, so 2021. Got started just because I'm in a small area, and whenever we would call, wanting shirts from other companies, it would be a long wait time, or you would just have to wait a long time, several weeks. And had some friends that done things like that in their home, and so I thought, well, I need to learn how to do that. So I did and started doing it out of my house as well. So this April was a year that we have been in business.
So, have you been into painting already, or is it your interest? And how did, if I want to start this, I don't know anything about this business. So, tell
Well,
us something more.
I really didn't know much of anything about it either. Whenever I started, it's kind of like screen printing, where you need to have a heat press to put it on the shirt, but you have to have you can take certain printers and convert them to sublimation printing, or you can buy specific printers for sublimation. It's a specific type of ink that you have to have, and you print it on a specific type of paper, and then you take that paper and heat it under the heat press, and then you press it into the shirt to make the design.
So you do the painting yourself, or you have some hired contract painters or team?
I do that. It's the printing. You design the image on the computer and then print it off. Or like there's designs on Etsy, or other websites that you can buy, and they allow you the commercial license to be able to print them and sell them as well. So you don't necessarily have to do all your designs.
I see. And I believe you bought a sublimation printer as
well. I actually bought a type printer that you can convert to sublimation ink, because it's cheaper to do that than it is to buy a specific sublimation printer when you're just a small business starting out. I'm just in my home, a very small business.
I see. And quickly to understand how people can, what do people give you? Like, do they choose some existing paintings and buy them, or do they give you some custom painting of their own and you can print them?
Well, it's mainly like shirt designs. Like I do shirts. Let's see. I got one right handy. I can pull out like school uniforms. Because right now, you're getting ready for school and stuff. So it's like shirts that you could wear to school, like with your mascot on them.
So you basically this T-shirt you got printed on a custom painting, or you had it ready?
You take it. Hold on. Let's see. Here, you just take it and print it on paper.
Okay.
That has a special ink on the paper, and then you take that and put it on the heat press.
I see.
And then you press it onto the shirt.
I see. Okay. How did you got this idea? Like, this is a bit unique. I know there are websites which do custom T-shirt printing. How is this different from, like, can you do like 1,000 T-shirts in a day?
You're thinking what's called screen printing, which is a completely different process.
Okay.
Totally different process. This is you could do 1,000, but it would be a whole lot more time consuming.
I see.
This is more like your smaller, your smaller business, smaller scale business,
it.
or at least for me. Now, if I had a whole lot of employees, I could do, I could do a bunch.
So Jennifer, this channel is basically to encourage and inspire small entrepreneurs who are just getting started and understand or learn from people like you who have done it over the past few months or years, and basically just to get an idea of how they can also do it. So the more you share, the better for everyone.
And I'm just one person in my house. I just bought a printer off of Amazon that you can convert to sublimation. I bought my heat press off of Amazon. I guess, you buy everything off of Amazon these days. And I bought the paper off of Amazon.
And how much do I pay? How if I want to get a painting, which I give you, how much would I have to pay to get it printed on my t-shirt, on a t-shirt, say white t-shirt?
I charge my prices are around $20 for the shirts.
Okay.
With it. And like right now with school uniforms, I do like a sale for those just because I know it's hard for everybody to get their kids back in school and have, multiple kids that they're buying for. I do a sale on my uniforms for like 16 adults and 13 for youth, just to help everybody out, this time of year. But I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, to get started. I offer the vinyl where you can cut letters, which this is paper, but I just kind of did, you can cut your stencils and stuff out. But I'm just kind of get started into vinyl myself. You can take the vinyl and cut it and heat press it on shirts too.
I see. And quickly, how did you got your first paying customers?
Friends. Friends that like if they wanted something done, they'd call, can you do this? So friends would be my first customers. And I advertise totally on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, which I have an Instagram page, but I don't think I've ever got an order from Instagram. All my orders have come from friends, family, and Facebook is where they've come from.
I see. Okay. And do you plan to do any search engine optimization, digital marketing to spread the word and get more orders? Is that something you planned?
I did hand some flyers out one time. I have done like the Facebook ads, and boosted a post on there. And but other than that, whenever I hand out my shirts, I have a business card in there. And on the back of the business card, if they share their shirt and their orders that they have on Facebook and tag me with a copy of my business card, they get 10% off their next shirt. So I do advertisements like that.
I see.
But your best is, word of mouth.
Okay. That's how everyone starts. So quickly, tell us some incident where you felt like giving up on this, and or what kept you going. It's the initial phase is the most difficult one for any business.
Getting started can be a little frustrating because you have to learn wherever you live at. You have to figure out what kind of taxes do you pay, what kind of license do you need, where do you go to file all that stuff, and everybody wants money for you to get started, and you haven't even sold anything yet. So, and then it got kind of slow. Last few months had been slow because with inflation and everything costing more, now people didn't have the money to spend on extra things, but business has picked up because everybody started, having to get their kids ready to go back to school. Even though we just got out of school, you got to get ready to go back. And business has picked up. So, and a business, when you first get started, your first year is going to be slow, and you have to give it time to start. And all mine is in my house, so I don't have extra, like a building that I have to worry about paying for, and all. So that helps me out a lot.
Is it you alone doing this, or you have someone as a business partner?
It's just me. I started out with a business partner, but she decided she didn't want to do it anymore. So it's just me doing it now.
Okay. You mentioned there was some license requirement. Do you have to get a license to do this work?
If you're doing it as a business. Now, if
Okay.
you're just doing it as a hobby, you wouldn't. But when I started, because I wanted to keep my business separate from my business finances, separate from my personal finances, I did an LLC company. So you had to pay to file your LLC. You had to get a business license, set up a sales tax account, all your tax accounts. And a good thing is, like in my state, if you do a sales tax account, then when you set up accounts to order like your shirts and your supplies, you can file that, and then they don't charge you sales tax on your supplies because you're going to pay sales tax on your product. So that, that helped in a way, but
Got
you
it.
have to file all those things too.
Got it. Oh, what made you do your own work or your own business? Why not take up a job somewhere and
Well, I
do
do
9 to 5?
have a job. I
Okay.
have a job somewhere else too. So
Okay.
so the business was just
I
decided.
was saying, like, there are people who are being laid off or not going through a good phase of job market in this time. What advice do you have for them who just want to pursue some hobby and convert it into a business like you are doing?
This is a good hobby. If you've, because people do right now, they like the shirts and just, different sayings or different memes. I mean, you could even, if you see a meme somewhere, you can print it off and put it on a shirt with it. It just depends on how much you want to invest in a hobby. If you want to do it a more inexpensive way, there's smaller heat presses that you can buy. You can do it more inexpensive. It just depends on how far you want to go with it, how much you want to do when
Got
it
it.
comes to a shirt business.
I'm sure your story will inspire someone to pursue their hobbies and give it a try at least. So thank you very much, Jennifer, for sharing your story. And I'll link down your Facebook and Instagram page on the video, and people can reach out to you. Is there any other contact information you want to share, or they can
No,
contact you on Facebook?
That's the two pages that I use to do orders. They can comment. I have lots of my designs and stuff are on there. Or if anybody has anything that they want designed, I can talk back and forth, and so I can try to design what they have in mind as well.
Cool. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Thank you very much for sharing your story. Thank you. Bye.